How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Monday, August 9th. And of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports. At the moment, the NFL is currently in the preseason and the NBA is still in the offseason if you count the Summer League as the offseason. And soccer is just getting started, so it's midway through the week. So the only sport I'm really reporting on is baseball from yesterday, and there were only 4 games from yesterday. Starting in Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians hosted the Cincinnati Reds, and they were able to pull up a 9-3 win at home after scoring 8 of their 9 runs in the first 4 innings of the game before the Reds could score their second. For the Cincinnati Reds in this matchup, the start and the loss went to Luis Castillo. Castillo allowed 8 earned runs in 3.1 innings pitched as he struck out 2. With this loss, Luis Castillo is 6-11 on the season. In the Reds batting lineup, their designated hitter, Joey Votto, will go 2 for 4 with an RBI. Their first baseman, Tyler Stevenson, will go 2 for 4 as well. Their center fielder, Aristides Aquino, will go 2 for 4. And then their catcher, Tucker Barnhart, will go 2 for 4 with an RBI. For the Cleveland Indians, the start was given to Sam Hentges. Hentges only pitched 2 innings as he allowed 1 earned run and struck out 1 batter. The win will go to the first relief pitcher for Cleveland, Justin Garza. Garza allowed 1 earned run in 2 innings pitched as well as he struck out 3. With this win, Garza is 2-0 on the season. In the Cleveland Indians lineup, their shortstop, Ahmed Rosario, will go 4 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs. As for Ahmed Rosario, he was a home run away from the cycle as he ended up hitting his 5th triple along with his 18th double. Their elite third baseman, Jose Ramirez, would end up going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs, as Jose Ramirez hit his 3rd triple of the season, and he also would go on to hit his 25th home run of the season. With this win, the Cleveland Indians are now 55-55. That is the 2nd best record in the American League Central. They've won their last 2 games, and they've won 5 of their last 10. At the moment, they trail the Chicago White Sox by 10.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Cincinnati Reds are now 61-52. That is the 2nd best record in the National League Central. They've only lost 3 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 5.5 games in the division. And at the moment, they currently trail the San Diego Padres for the 2nd National League wildcard spot by 3.5 games as they are the first team on the outside looking in. Jumping out to Minneapolis, the Minnesota Twins hosted the Chicago White Sox, who currently lead that division. The White Sox were able to pull off an 11-1 win, holding the Twins to only 2 hits all game. For the Minnesota Twins in this matchup, the start and the loss was given to Beau Burrows. Beau Burrows allowed 7 runs in 2 innings pitched as he struck out 2. With this loss, he's 0-1 on the season. In the Twins batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit, but their first baseman, Miguel Sano, would go 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run. Sano would hit his 19th home run of the season. For the Chicago White Sox, the start and the win went to Lucas Giolito. He allowed 1 earned run and only 2 hits in 8 innings pitched as he struck out 8. With this win, Giolito is 9-8 on the year. In the White Sox batting lineup, their elite shortstop, Tim Anderson, will go 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Anderson hit his 12th home run of the season. Their designated hitter, Eloy Jimenez, would go 2 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 4th and 5th home runs of the season yesterday. Their third baseman, Yohan Moncada, will go 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs as he hit his 10th home run of the season. And their center fielder, Luis Robert, finally back in the lineup, will go 2 for 5 with an RBI. With this win, the Chicago White Sox are now 67-46. That is the best record in the American League Central. They've currently won their last 4 games, which is tied with the Oakland Athletics and the Tampa Bay Rays for the best win streak in the American League. They've won 7 of their last 10 games as they now sit 10.5 games ahead of the 2nd place Cleveland Indians in their division. The White Sox are holding on to the 2nd best record in the American League as they sit behind the Tampa Bay Rays out east and they sit ahead of the Houston Astros out west, looking at how the American League playoff picture is looking. With this loss, the Minnesota Twins are now 48-65. That is the worst record in the American League Central. They've lost 5 of their last 10, and at the moment they currently trail the Chicago White Sox by 19 games in the division at the moment. Jumping out to Kansas City, the Kansas City Royals hosted the New York Yankees, and the Yankees were able to pull off an 8-6 win in extra innings, as the game would end up going into extra innings tied at 3 thanks to an RBI single from Nicky Lopez at the bottom of the ninth to tie up the game. For the Yankees, they would end up scoring 2 runs in the 10th, and the Kansas City Royals would match that. Going into the top of the 11th with the score tied at 5, it would be a RBI double from DJ LeMahieu that put the Yankees up by 1, and then a 2-run single from Brett Gardner would put the Yankees up by 3. And then for the Royals, it would only be a 1-run single from Edward Olivares, as the Royals will come up short in this one. For the Royals in this matchup, the start was given to Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez allowed 1 earned run on 5 hits as he struck out, in 6.2 innings pitched, as he struck out 3 batters. The loss was given to the Royals' penultimate relief pitcher, Greg Holland. Holland allowed 3 runs in 0.2 innings pitched as he was unable to strike out a batter. With this loss, Greg Holland is 2-5 on the season. In the New York Yankees lineup, their center fielder, Brett Gardner, would go 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Their elite right fielder, Aaron Judge, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI. Their elite second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, would end up going 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Their first baseman, Luke Voit, who led the American League in home runs last season, went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run, as Luke Voit hit his 4th home run of the season. And then for the Yankees, their third baseman, Tyler Wade, would end up going 2 for 3 with 3 runs. With this win, the New York Yankees are now 62-50. That is the 3rd best record in the American League East. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, as they now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 6 games in the division. Also, they trail the Boston Red Sox by 2 games for the 2nd American League wildcard spot, as the Yankees are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Kansas City Royals are now 48-63. That is the 4th best record in the American League Central. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games, and they now trail the Chicago White Sox by 18 games in the division. Last but not least, jumping out to San Diego, the Padres hosted the Miami Marlins, and in an effort to retain their wild card spot, the San Diego Padres were able to beat the Marlins 8-3, scoring 4 of their 8 runs in the bottom of the 8th to cement their win. For the Miami Marlins, the start and the loss was given to Zach Thompson. Zach Thompson allowed 4 earned runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 2. With this loss, Thompson is 2-5 on the year. The Marlins batting lineup, their shortstop Miguel Rojas would end up going 2 for 4 for the day. Their left fielder Lewis Brinson would go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 5th home run of the season. And for the San Diego Padres, the start and the win went to Joe Musgrove. Musgrove allowed 1 earned run and 5 hits in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 8. With this win, Joe Musgrove is 8-7 on the year. And in the Padres batting lineup, their elite third baseman, Manny Machado, will go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Their first baseman, Eric Hosmer, will go 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 3 runs as Hosmer hit his 10th home run of the season. And with this win, the San Diego Padres are now 65-49. That is the 3rd best record in the National League West. They've won their last 3 games, and they've won 6 of their last 10. At the moment, they trail the San Francisco Giants by 7 games in the division, and they currently hold on to the 2nd National League wildcard spot, sitting 3 games behind the first place Los Angeles Dodgers, and they sit 3.5 games ahead of the Cincinnati Reds, who are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Miami Marlins are now 47-66. That is the worst record in the National League East and the 3rd worst record in the National League. They've lost their last 4 games. They've lost 7 of their last 10. And at the moment, they trail the Philadelphia Phillies by 12.5 games in the division. So that is what the MLB is looking like following yesterday's matchups, and looking forward to what's going on today, as most of the teams did their traveling yesterday. Starting from the very top at 2:20, it will be Game 1 of the doubleheader in Chicago as the Cubs host the Brewers. Justin Steele is going to get the start for the Cubs, and Freddie Peralta is going to get the start for Milwaukee. Coming into this matchup, Freddie Peralta is 8-3, and he has a 2.21 ERA on the season. Looking into the second matchup of this doubleheader, Alec Mills will take the mound for Chicago as Aaron Ashby takes the mound for Milwaukee. The Game 2 of this doubleheader will be at 8:05. Looking at the other doubleheader of the day at 6:07, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to host the Los Angeles Angels as Steven Matz takes the mound for Toronto. Chris Rodriguez takes the mound for the Los Angeles Angels. In the second matchup of this doubleheader doubleheader at 10:07, Jose Suarez is going to start for the Angels and Ross Stripling is going to start for the Toronto Blue Jays. Suarez enters the second matchup of this doubleheader with a 5-4 record alongside a 3.60 ERA. Outside of the doubleheaders at 7:05, Keegan Akin and the Baltimore Orioles are going to host Casey Mize and the Detroit Tigers. Casey Mize enters this matchup with a 6-6 record alongside a 3.57 ERA. At the same time, at 7:05, the National League East leading Philadelphia Phillies are going to host the reigning World Series champs LA Dodgers. Aaron Nola is going to take the mound for Philly, and then for the Los Angeles Dodgers, the starting pitcher is going to be their goated starting pitcher, Max Scherzer. Scherzer is holding on to a 9-4 record alongside a 2.75 ERA for the season. At the same time, at 7:05, Steven Brault and the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to host their in-division rivals, J.A. Happ and the St. Louis Cardinals at the moment. At 7:10, Tristan McKenzie and the Cleveland Indians are going to host Sean Manaea and the Oakland Athletics. Manaea comes into this matchup with an 8-7 record alongside a 3.26 ERA. At the same time, at 7:10, Eduardo Rodriguez and the Boston Red Sox are going to host Luis Patino and the Tampa Bay Rays. At the same time, Carlos Carrasco and the New York Mets are going to host Paolo Espino and the Washington Nationals. Paolo Espino enters Citi Field with a 3-3 record alongside a 3.66 ERA. At 7:20, Drew Smyly and the Atlanta Braves are going to host Sonny Gray and the Cincinnati Reds. At 8:10, Griffin Jax and the Minnesota Twins are going to host the Chicago White Sox, led by their elite starting pitcher, Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel enters this matchup with a 7-5 record alongside a 4.44 ERA. At the same time, at 8:10, Jake Odorizzi and the Houston Astros are going to host John Gray and the Colorado Rockies. John Gray is currently holding on to a 7-7 record alongside a 3.67 ERA. At the same time, at 8:10, Daniel Lynch and the Kansas City Royals are going to host Nestor Cortez and the New York Yankees. At 9:45, Alex Wood of the San Francisco Giants is going to host the Arizona Diamondbacks, led by their elite starting pitcher, Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen enters this matchup with a 1-6 record alongside a 4.62 ERA. At 10:10, Craig Stammen and the San Diego Padres are going to host Braxton Garrett and the Miami Marlins. Craig Stammen enters his matchup with a 5-2 record alongside a 2.71 ERA. And last but not least, Logan Gilbert and the Seattle Mariners are going to host Colby Allard and the Texas Rangers. So that is what baseball is looking like, and taking a really quick glance at what soccer is looking like. Not much going on from yesterday, but today it will be the second leg of a lot of UEFA Champions League qualifying matchups to at least make the group stage. Among the teams that are playing, Monaco is going to play Sparta Prague in their second game as they lead on a 2-0 aggregate. Benfica out of Portugal is going to face off against Spartak Moscow as Benfica leads 2-0 on aggregate. And of course, Rangers from Scotland trailing Malmo in the aggregate as well. But that is what soccer is looking like as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. And with that said, I want to thank the MLB and ESPN websites for providing me the facts and figures that I needed for this episode. And of course, I want to thank everyone for listening to all 14 minutes of this piece. Once again, today is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. And once all of today's matchups and exhibitions are done, I will come back tomorrow on Wednesday, August 11th, once all of today's matchups and exhibitions are over, for another episode of The Elite. And until then, I want to thank everyone once again. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you tomorrow with another episode. Until then, thanks for listening to my piece, and peace out. I'll catch you tomorrow.